Today I am surface sowing carrots in my in pots that can easily be done on a patio if you wanted to. I have two different styles of pots here, and then also I'm putting them in one of my raised beds, which I have in my garden. I'm sowing this large round bed with carrots. So I've sprinkled the carrot seeds out on the surface. If you look really closely, you can see that there are seeds right out in here, just lightly scattered around the whole bed. And then as they come up, I will be able to thin them if necessary. And what I will do next for my carrots is I will be putting a layer of just a cardboard box on top of them for the first few weeks. They tend to germinate better if I cover them and just let them sit. It keeps the seeds from rolling and having trouble with germination. Also, we're right here mid-April, and any cool weather plants can be planted at this time. You can put in you can seed cabbage, you can seed broccoli, you can seed any of your lettuces, and those types of items, radishes. They can all be planted at this point in time. They will do fine. You know, we're about a month before our last typical frost date, and so carrots, potatoes, cabbages, celery, radishes, broccoli, all of those types of plants, lettuces, can all be planted at this time. And so I will come back and show you again as my seeds start to sprout on these carrots, and I'll be sowing some of these other seeds as well. So I have prepped this bed for some spring plants. I will be planting peas and radishes in this bed. I'm going to do these first few rows with peas, and then I've left a little larger space, and the other plants I'll be doing a little bit closer together, and then I will show you what these look like once they're planted. So as you can see, I've sown the pea seeds about 2 inches apart, and I will cover them lightly. So I usually don't want to put too much dirt on them. I just want to cover the seeds just barely as I go through. And I'll do that with a whole row. I've done 6 rows of peas. And then over here I have 2 rows of bok choy. The seed is so tiny you really can't see it, but they're in there. And then I have some radishes. I've got 2 different kinds of radishes over 4 different rows. And then some Swiss chard, and you can see the seeds of the Swiss chard. They're right here. These will all just be barely covered. And then I have some arugula and some romaine lettuce. So all of these will be barely covered, and then we'll thin if needed after they come up. In this bed, here I'm planting onions, and I always start with a bag of onion sets. I wet my dirt, and I'll push the onion bulb just down in the ground, as you see here, about every 6 inches apart. One thing I wanted to make sure you're aware of, when planting your onion starts, you want to make sure that you have the seed end down and the pointy